here, and it's still the NiP side up against OpTic here on Train for the final map of the day here at ELEAGUE Week 2. Semla, what do you think? Has OpTic done anything so far to change your mind?
Apart from getting completely destroyed on the second map, yes, they've changed my mind. I think that NiP have now got a pretty solid chance of closing this out.
All right. Yeah, I mean, you have to expect that that's going to be the case indeed. But at least OpTic get to start on the CT side. If they could win the pistol, maybe they could build something behind it. Forest was very much alive, and look at NiP. I mean, every single member here with Glock and armor. That means they're going to be ready to fight. So OpTic, they've one goal right now. That is to shut NiP down before they get close. Or get right. He's boosted up. But Dabs is down there. Did he spot it? That's the big question here.
Tough to see.
No,
there.
he doesn't. I mean, he probably would be looking up there if you could see it.
Yeah, that's a bit of a tough angle to spot. But yeah, and you can hear like the battle cries getting shouted out there by NiP. They're getting fired up. They're ready to go. And so they were just waiting right now. This is what it's all about. Wait, sit, see if OpTic are going to get aggressive anywhere. But both of these teams, they're just content to not be the first team to make the first move. There we go, Exist. He's going to be the one to start things off. Stanislaw is going to pick up Get Right, so there's a fine start. Stanislaw with the double kill, in fact. Nafly gets overwhelmed, but they are still alive on the side. As I say that, though, Exist is going to pick up 2 kills. Forest finds 1, and we're into Mixwell and Daps. The last 2 alive here for OpTic versus Forest and Exist, and somehow they need to find a bomb plant here.
Mix trying to see if he can make this one work. He's got a smoke button. Currently no kit picked up. There must be one on the ground somewhere, and he's going to be pushing up right as the smoke lands as well. Might even be covering some of his footsteps there with the sound of that one blooming. But now, look at how hard it is to find the NiP players here. They're just running away, and that's what they should do. Exist coming in. That's a quad kill here. And a very strong start for NiP. That's going to feel good, and yeah, now OpTic are in some trouble.
Should be an easy win for the Swedes.
Oh,
damn.
right.
I mean, I'm not going to write off Mixwell and OpTic on Train. I still think they can put up one hell of a fight here versus NiP, but I think that NiP, after that, well, that demonstration on Overpass, they're going to have the confidence. So it's going to come down to a big play here for OpTic, basically, to show their team, show your teammates, we're capable of going toe-to-toe with these guys. Cobblestone was not a fluke. Let's go, guys. We need to actually get some kills on the board. So it's not going to happen this round, most likely, seeing as how obviously it's going to be a round of eco coming in here for OpTic, but it's actually a really hard eco here. Look at that. 3 USPs,
thinking Get Right might have disconnected just because he was still stood here and spawned, so
oh, that's fair.
I could see them just sort of restarting the round here. Who knows? Maybe they were celebrating too much, Semla. Maybe so much that, you know, a mouse or a keyboard died in the process.
We heard of that happen in the past.
Good time. But yeah, they are gonna bring it back. That's an uncomfortable position to die in right there.
Hey man, yoga's good for you, I hear.
Well, I haven't tried it personally, so I'll take your word for it.
Nah. That's
do you do much yogaing?
Nah, that's like a vegetarian thing to do. I don't know how it works.
Well, fair enough. We are going to be resetting the round and make sure that everyone is actually able to play the game too. But yeah, so not necessarily the most optimistic start for OpTic.
No, this is just going to set them back. I mean, they are having a little bit of time to sit and dwell, maybe talk over what they want to change up or how they want to approach that first buy round. But Mixwell, man, he is just looking depressed right now. Somebody needs to, you know, I don't know, Clown, you know, needs to come out, like popping out from in front of him, something like that, just to try and get a smile on his face, or at least, you know, some kind of emotion.
Do clowns make you smile, Semla?
No, they don't.
They don't do it for me, I've got to say. There's something a little eerie about them, in fact. I don't think Mixwell is going to be too pleased with his own performance on that second map. Hard to read off his face whether it's sort of just the focus here. I mean, the game is not live right now.
No, seriously, he's like pondering, like somebody kicked his puppy or something. I don't know, like they took away his candy bar. You know, Christmas is actually canceled this year.
He is just, he's in a very, very deep place right now.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to throw it to a quick break, guys, while we sort out things here with Get Right. We're just going to be relaunching the round, so we'll be back in just a minute once that's sorted.
We should have the technical issues almost sorted out here. We do have a bit of an overview here while the group is played out here for the second week of ELEAGUE G2. You can tell they have already made it through, so they're going to be on TBS, and that's tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. You see they're a little bit excited on Twitter. I mean, that is definitely a big thing, and right now we're trying to decide who's going to meet them, OpTic or NiP.
Is it just me, or do none of them actually look excited?
I mean, when you're as cool as Scream obviously is, I don't think you've got any room for anything else, you know. It takes focus even to stay that cool.
I know. I'm thinking more like, you know, Scream, he's just so devilishly good looking, right, that he just doesn't want to smile out of fear of causing wrinkles. You know, he's...
That could well be a thing. I could believe that.
He's not interested in looking distinguished. He wants to look like a porcelain doll all of his life.
Well, second round is coming up here, and again, we did get the match restarted. OpTic losing the pistol round after a quad kill from Exist, and now we got to see if they've got anything to answer back with. No armor being picked up here on the OpTic side, so wondering what that is all about.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that Mixwell has not spent anything, so he's going to be prioritizing that AWP right out the gate. Nice little HE surprise there towards top ramp in case anybody was trying to go aggressive. That would have been Daps hitting a bunch of shrapnel, but instead he manages to back off just in time, dodge that little surprise from NiP. And well, this is just OpTic waiting. Again, both of these teams, it seems like they have their hearts set on a slow pace to the game. Take your time.
I kind of wish we could do a zoom in on Freiburg's avatar.
It's such a good picture as well. I mean, just imagine how pissed you are, basically, if he wrecks you, and then you just look down at, like, who killed you, and it's just Freiburg smiling at you.
Yeah.
The grin.
That is like...
He just looks so happy.
I would say sort of... There's definitely a point where you tip past happiness and into slight insanity, and I think that's what Freiburg has got going on that picture. Well... It looks like it's going to be a split towards the A-bomb side with Pith and Exist coming out of PopDog and the other three coming out of main. The wall of smokes is down and there's no one there that can stop it right now for OpTic. They're pretty much all on the wrong side. NAF is trying to get into a slightly better position, but again, because they only have pistols, I'm not sure it will make a big difference. But still a good attempt here. Bomb will be going down and NAF will pick up a kill.
Yeah, somehow they're actually making this work. Pyth going to get jumped by NAF. NAF with the second kill. He still hasn't taken a point of damage, but he's got that P250 and he's going to work. He does manage to drop Freiburg low, and Stanislaw in position to take advantage of that. Still a man advantage here, but Exist, they have the rifles and they will get caught out in the open forest. Too many angles to worry about. Exist looking to buy time with that Molotov, keeping them off the bomb, but they will get the kill in the end. Do they still have the time, though? Stanislaw just going to cut some corners, and he times it right.
That bought him about 2 seconds, and I think he would have had it either way, but I kind of like the idea. That was a really, really silly round for NiP. Honestly, all right, it's great play for NAF. I loved it, and you see how he adjusted to the smokes immediately?
Yeah.
He picks up 2 kills, and that's all good, but the last 3 members of NiP have no idea what happened to the communication. Forrest looked outright panicked being behind the train there, and he didn't really need to be. He was even firing at Exist, who was in PopDog, but there's just no communication at all.
Yeah, complete breakdown there on NiP's side, and that after I was just admiring their smokes. I was like, right, they hit all the smokes perfectly. They even smoke off alleys, so they move out onto the site. They don't have to worry about a thing. And then it turns out it was all a lie. OpTic there to shatter their dreams, and OpTic putting up a fight. They're not just going to get rolled over like they were on Overpass here. I'm definitely expecting a bit of a closer map between the two of these teams. Stanislaw has to give ground as they try and push out aggressively, looking for that split, but Stanislaw just mows them down with the help of NAF. And there are 2 kills here for NiP. Pyth with the AK looking to get a third, but it's not going to happen. Rush from on high in the sniper spot, going to pick up 2 and end the round. OpTic 2-1. Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah, not actually planted in the audience, but definitely cheering for NiP here. We got the 4th round coming up in a second, and NiP not really doing too well at the moment, and they are on the terrorist side. So, I mean, I still think this is pretty impressive by OpTic.
I think Heaton's going to have something to say about them having those shirts. Did they make those shirts themselves? You know, like the NiP logo? Heaton's a big guy. All right.
True enough, true enough. That must be a lot of people doing that. He's gonna have to be real busy if he wants to catch everyone. Daps falling back in the MP9 here. Bit of a spray down, does get 2, which is not that bad. A good little pick off there from Mixwell. Can't stop Forrest from bringing the bomb down, even with the Molotov, but Forrest a little bit too hot behind there. Gonna end up trying to fall out and Exist on the ladder, playing a weird game, and ends up going down.
You don't play, you know, basically Mixwell there. Little finger. Said, get off my ladder. I'm the one climbing. There's no space, not enough space for two up here.
Apparently not. He does end up with the triple kill, so that's good. 3-1 at the moment, and the 5th round is coming up. And Forest, AWP in hand. Some grenades as well on the rest of the NiP team. And we'll see if OpTic could keep NiP out of this first half again. They did it on Cobblestone. Maybe they could do it again here on Train.
Let's see, now they're evened up. 3-1. OpTic still in the lead, and they do have the hard setup here on the A site. OpTic, they really are putting quite a bit of focus on the A site, and in case NiP were trying to go for the early aggression, a strategy that NiP favor, putting Forest out quickly. Forest, however, this round has the AWP, and there is a setup. It's a 2-1-2 setup, in fact, for NiP. Making a little bit of noise in Brown Halls as well, just spreading out all over the place, but the steps there by the bomb carrier, that's Pyth running all over the place. With those two guys pushed up into A main, that might actually get OpTic. Are they going to actually try and shift an extra man over towards that B site? Freiburg finds the instant headshot on Stanislaw. Stanislaw gets the headshot on him first, though, but the M4A1, you need 2 shots to get the job done. Rush, however, going to be able to pick up the first one, and now he knows where Freiburg's playing from. Boop.
What is happening right now? How did Forest and Freiburg not manage to coordinate that? And Rush flashed entirely. He's finally going to be able to go down, but that's just a very, very weird and, again, slightly awkward fight going on over there. The bomb is going down on the B bomb side. That's good news. And Get Right, he snuck so far into CT spawn, and Nafly, he doesn't stand a chance in hell to get this clutch through. Doesn't realize it, but Get Right is literally right behind him, and it's just a question of timing here. Naf going down, and now Mixwell running back into Freiburg, who survives the entire round with a triple kill. There was so many things wrong with that entire fight from both points of view. By that container.
That's when we needed to zoom in on the avatar.
Yes.
Freiburg survives 8 HP, the longest battle of his life, one of the ugliest ones, and then it's just Freiburg grinning. You mad? Because I'm not. All right, so 2-3, NiP running it back 1 round. OpTic, they have the 4 rifles, they have the AWP on Mixwell, they're fully bought up. And once again, same setup, identical setup, in fact, here for OpTic to the last round. 2 by alley. 2 pushed up close, this time favoring Pop Dog instead of A main, but they are there in case NiP wanted to go for a quick turn of speed and try and rush out onto that A site.
What a shame that grenade doesn't go through for Nafly, because that would have probably hit Forest almost dead on there. To get snagged on some edge down there, and not maybe too encouraging there. Very common setup right now for the OpTic side, though.
They are taking their time now. They fall back into a default kind of hold. Mixwell supporting on the B side with the AWP. A little bit of a wallbang attempt, actually going through onto Pyth. No, onto Exist, who manages to deftly dodge the bullets. It seemed to me like NiP, they want to go out onto the B site once again. So they show themselves elsewhere on the map, just trying to sow some confusion, but the smoke goes down. That might delay things just a little bit here for NiP. Daps is far enough away where he won't get overrun easily. So this is going to be a little bit tricky here for NiP, but they have all of these nades. They have all of the Molotovs to check the likely spots. It looks like they might even want to set up for the boost. No, it's just full out execute here onto the B site with all of the nades.
Mixwell has got a decent position, but it's all about timing right now. He hasn't clicked the trigger just yet. Daps is down here, and he needs some backup. Just going to get overrun in the end, and Mixwell couldn't even help him at that point in time. So now the bomb is down, and no one from NiP has even died yet, and that's going to be a really big thing here. 20 seconds, and they are going to get the bomb part through. Stan picking up a good shot there on Exist, but getting shot in the back by Pyth coming through. And just a lot of trading back and forth at the moment, slightly favoring OpTic, but with Forest still up here, and now definitely favoring OpTic.
How the hell does this happen? Freiburg, he's on the lower ramp, he's going to get picked. Mixwell, 2 kills for him at the end of the round, and a perfect retake coming in for OpTic when everything looked so smooth for NiP. Daps didn't put up a fight, basically got overrun, and then somehow NiP, again, similar to what we saw in the second round, right, where they got control of the site, they got out there, they get the bomb down, but the holds, they're just not able to win the duels when OpTic comes in for the retake. It's as simple as that for NiP, and that's a little, I mean, that's cause for concern. You can see Get Right kind of pondering it there, just, all right, what are we doing wrong here, boys? Because we're getting halfway there, we're getting that bomb down. We have the advantage. How are we not stopping OpTic from actually retaking?
I think the really big key factor is that the only one who was pushed up in that B attack was Pyth, and he only got 1 kill. When he went down, everyone else from NiP was so far back in the bomb site that they were never going to be able to take really good fights with OpTic. It's sort of one of the key things we always end up talking about with this bomb site is you want the bomb down, yes, but you want to push up, you want to go where Get Right did in the round before that, just all the way back there. Mixwell, it's going to be a bit of a shooting gap. Oh, Forrest! Only his corpse landing on the ground. He was dead before he hit it. Now Daps coming in and taking out Freiburg. Pyth gonna fall, and that's the round.
Beautiful work. They get the hold, but NiP, I think, had the small victory of getting that bomb plant, so they have that bonus money at the end. Mixwell showing us just how quick he can be with the AWP. Gets the line on the second man dropping down. Forrest, that's just painful. Thought that he actually got the tag on the bomb carrier there, too. He was so close. But Mixwell has certainly woken up here on this last map in this best of 3. 10 kills to his name, 2 deaths. So an excellent KDA going into it. But OpTic extend their lead now 5-2. And well, with that bomb plant and NiP, they're going to have the money to go for the buy. Interesting note is that Forrest doesn't have the AWP, so I wonder if he wants to try and rush out through a main again. Try and get that pressure out. And it doesn't look like it, actually. Instead, it's going to be just quick smokes going out onto the A site. Let's see, NiP.
Ooh, look at Russian Stan, though. They're being very aggressive. Going to pick up the 1 kill there. Good refrag, but still only 5 health here on Pyth. And you got to wonder if that doesn't get called out immediately by Stan. He must have known he did some good damage then. Pushing into B is Get Right, charging through the smoke, and Daps is right on the other side. That's a very important pickup there. Everyone rotating towards the B bomb side, but the bomb is kind of just stuck in transit here. Close to Freiburg, but not being carried anywhere.
So weird that Get Right, it's so uncharacteristic of him. Usually he's like the silent killer. He sneaks in there and you have no idea he's on the site until he's shooting you in the side of the head. For him to just like go full YOLO flash through the smoke and everything like that. Very interesting change in style there for the man.
Yeah, but isn't that what we've been seeing like lately? I mean, it's just that's just what he does now. And he seems to be pretty good at it.
Yeah, he's good at it. Like, not taking anything away from Get Right. It's just so bizarre to see him play that style. Still, nice shot there from Exist. Picks out Rush. Still going to be in a 1v3, however, and that was his last nade. So now he needs to either go and find one, pick one up off a corpse, and he does that, finds a flash to work with. But he only has 30 seconds left. Unfortunately, he can't pick up more time, so he has to find a kill somewhere, or 2, basically, to give himself a fighting chance.
Just imagine a Counter-Strike mode where every kill you got bought you 10 seconds more. So you could keep the round alive by slowly picking off people. I'm not encouraging that, by the way. Don't ever do that. Exist going to be sneaking in here and actually taking out Nafly. 8 seconds left. He has to get the bomb down, and that's going to be the end of him as well. Fakes it once now. Time is up. He takes that one. Oh! Just has to hide, and Daps is going to be able to do that. I like that attempt from Exist. That could have worked out. He does not get the round loss bonus, though, which means it's going to backfire quite heavily on him. He's at 1,800, while the rest of his team, they wouldn't really have been able to buy, so I guess that is like a silver lining here. That's an appropriate reaction.
Indeed. It's kind of like us casting, you know? You freaking out, I'm just sitting there like stunned, like what?
I mean, imagine if he had hit that headshot immediately on Daps.
Oh, that would have been a thing of beauty, no doubt. I mean, it was the hero play. It was the play that he had to try and make. But not going to pan out. OpTic continue to extend their lead, 6 rounds to 2. And while NiP, they go for the half buy here. Nades, pistols, bit of Kevlar to work with. Let's see. I mean, they are setting up again for that execute onto the A site. They have been successful in getting the bomb plant down, so they're counting on that basically here, NiP. They want to get that bonus $800. So we'll be the straight up A execute fairly soon. Stanislaw Rush. Rush is in the anti position basically for this though. He's up in sniper it looks like, and that basically allows him to see over those smokes. When NiP throw them in, he's going to have the perfect line to see right over them, and he's going to be able to communicate quickly to his teammates, you know, that this is in fact an A push. Yeah,
Stan too, assuming he stays up here, is also going to have a pretty good line. He does fall back a little bit, but this is exactly what you were talking about here. Just being able to spot them out. They do manage to just walk past here, but still not a bad position. There's the 1 kill coming in, and I have no idea how Pyth got up there. But he did, and he's going to get a kill for it as well. And that's 3-on-3 with the bomb down, and with Pyth up in sniper, or sorry, Exist up there, it's going to get real tricky.
Yeah, now this makes it a nightmare. Pyth, he's got Kevlar as well, so he can take a fight. Stanislaw, though, wins the duel flat out versus Get Right. He knows that Pyth is still playing up there, but Pyth under fire. Exist, going to draw the attention. Daps trades it, and it's all on Exist now. 1v1 with the Tech 9. Daps has got the kit, and Daps, it looks like he wants to stick it, but he hears Exist make the move, and makes it this time around. Will find the kill and the clutch, and on a half by pistol Kevlar, NiP, they finally succeed in defending the site. And is that due, do you think that that's due to the pistols, just to the fact that they're able to cut loose and finally charge in there? No fear, nothing to lose.
I think one of the deciding differences there was the fact that that Pyth got up there, and then I think he traded places with Exist at the end. But that is very impressive, right? So just charging in, not a lot of kills on him right now, but that was a big impact frag. Because otherwise, Rush could have stayed up there all day and sort of taking shots at them, maybe denying the plant, then things could have got much worse. OpTic now out of money. And NiP got to be feeling really good about this. NAF sneaking in and taking out Thrive. Oh, wow, NAF! One more headshot would do it. He's reloading in the corner, and he's going to get found by GetRight, but that's one hell of a trade with just a P250.
Oh, man, GetRight brings it right back, though. Rush caught out in the open. Mixwell is still in position, though. We'll see. Is he going to be able to catch out GetRight? GetRight, the timing doesn't work for him, though. Mixwell just lying in wait, trying to set a trap, because that was a valiant effort by NAF. So close. And it's so hard to pull a fast one on GetRight as well. I mean, he's even going so far as to check a spot that, well, Rush was obviously standing in a moment ago. And now they're managing the rifles as well. So making sure that, if they give up this position on the map, NiP, OpTic, the player can't move in behind to pick up one of the guns.
It's definitely critical. Mixwell is in the corner, and Stan is looking that way. So Stan is going to spot them out first, which will give Mixwell a little bit of time, or he should be spotting them out. Actually not looking here right now. So they're not quite aware that NiP are out here. They could walk all the way into CT spawn into the B bomb site. This should be sort of the master play coming out of NiP, but they are going to engage with OpTic a little bit here. And now CT side should be aware that something is up. Smoke and then Flash, and Daps is already rotated back. Great positional play coming out of Daps right now. He's putting himself in the optimal position to get a good kill on whoever is putting down the bomb.
And there's no time left, 10 seconds. GetRight holding off the rotation, but Daps is here and he's already rushing in. Forrest hears the steps though, but the game is up and he takes just a little bit of damage, but he's able to trade up, and he hears Stanislaw coming from a mile away. There's the headshot from Forrest. He's going to follow up with the kill on Daps, and now it's all on Mixwell here. P250 in hand, just charging forward. And again, Forrest, he can hear these footsteps. He's prepared for the push, and he will find the last kill of this round. 3 for him, 2 for GetRight, and a great save coming in from NiP, despite a perfect start for Nafly.
Yeah, the duo that was working so poorly on the first map, definitely back in it here with a bit of a clutch. And it's a real shame, if you were pointing it out, that they're running so much. Daps, I think, played it really well. He couldn't know that Forrest was going to put the bomb down all the way on the other side, so that's just what it is. But Daps is still alive, and if Stan just walks in behind instead of running in, they probably have a good chance to sandwich Forrest. So maybe just a little bit nervous on the OpTic side here. And they are also very low on money, but they put together a buy for this round. It's not a perfect one, but it'll do for now.
A little bit scary to go for the peek into Alley as well. One of NiP's favorite plays is the one they're using right now. 3 guys towards Alley, sets it up for the AWP when they have one. But Forrest and Pyth are currently occupying A main and Pop Dog, and well, the push begins. GetRight actually is leading the charge. Nafly, though, just gonna straight up beat him 1v1. That peak, that was a bold move there by Naf, but he seems to be feeling it right now. Back-to-back strong rounds for him so far. And well, that's the man advantage now for OpTic. No chance for a return frag here for NiP, so now they start back. I mean, what can they do? They have a great nade count. Do they want to just try and go out onto the B site? They've had success there so far.
Existed looks like he's about to go and take the fight with Naf again. If he can win it, then they have a lot more options, but oh. He doesn't peek quite far enough. Did Naf see the gun barrel? I'm not sure if he did or not. There's no one there to throw any grenades for Naf, and that's such a shame. There's the fight coming out early on. And that kind of gives it up. OpTic are out of grenades, so they need to do this just clean with the rifles, and Exist going to be going down. Fantastic double for Rush and Naf both, and Freiburg all alone. Mad spray coming out and not connecting. 7-4, and it's a very good round here for the CT side.
And Naf just continues to deliver. This is it, the individual kind of play that you need. You need somebody to step up and start leading the team. And well, Naf and Rush right now, this was their round. But back-to-back solid rounds for Nafly, who's sitting at the top of the scoreboard right now for OpTic. 11-2-8 for him. Mixwell behind, actually, 10-0-5. But Rush, Stanislaw, I mean, it's actually very balanced right now between everybody on OpTic. Similar to what we saw on Cobblestone. Nobody really lagging behind, whereas for NiP, it's a bit top-heavy. Exist is sitting at 12 kills, but then it's a significant drop down to 6 kills for the runner-up.
And what's really bad as well is obviously the fact that they don't really have a lot of money. Molotov gonna check that corner. Forrest can't be too excited about that one. Now that means the Rush is gonna be triggered over here by the B side, and that's trying to make sure they don't even get on the bomb side with that bomb assist. Can he actually get the plant? He cannot. Wallbang shot coming out of Mixwell. And we are at 8-4 right now. I say OpTic are playing this way better than I thought they would again.
I agree. This is shaping up to be more of a standard game, to be frank. I mean, 8-4, it's still not over here for NiP. They can still run it back. They've got 3 rounds to work with. And even if it ends 9-6, 10-5, it's still, NiP are still in the game. So this is a much more even map between the two. It's not just one team getting stomped into oblivion. So that, I mean, that at least, it's a good note to end on here, because this will be the last map of the day in the semifinals for ELEAGUE. Flash goes in. No aggression coming out from Daps, though. That is actually one thing that OpTic haven't really been going for. Selfless, they showed the aggression there. I mean, basically most trained teams will try and push up into Brown Halls eventually, but Daps seems to choose to go for the much more passive approach, instead favoring the early hold on A with 4 players.
Yeah, we've seen different approaches to it, right? Every once in a while when Tempo Storm has been playing this map, we've seen some very, very aggressive, I say Tempo Storm, but Immortals, I guess.
Immortals now.
They've been having some pretty aggressive rounds on the ramp there. GetRight does it when he's playing on the CT side, right? Pushes up with max 7 and stuff like that. But if you're not feeling confident in it, then why risk it? Because if you lose those fights, you put your team at a pretty big disadvantage. So I guess individually, Damp's not really on board with that one. Looks like on the A execute, Mixwell, great position. Stan as well, great position. Almost all the grenades here are going to land right behind them, and that's going to make it tough for NiP. Got a bit of a missed shot. They got another chance here to see if they can make it out of main.
Bit of a scary situation, but there's the incendiary, perfectly timed, and Forrest there to get the pick. Stanislaw holding up close with the UMP, needs to find the first kill, and he's not going to get it. GetRight there to open it up, and it's Rush dancing on the edge of the smoke, goes charging through, but he's in the fire, and Pyth will get that kill. Just like that, NiP, they're having a bit of a barbecue, and they aren't able to bring it back. Nafly goes for the long spray, but Forrest still holding an A main with that AWP. And that was a sick play to start things off, really. They figure out, wait a second, he's holding close. Great. Incendiary, and then Forrest is holding the angle. That's that kind of 1-2 combination punch that you always want to be able to pull off on the T side. You locate someone, and then you just use your grenades to force them out into the open for the kill.
Yeah, so a bit of a problem, OpTic. I think they would have been in a significantly better position if they could have kept NiP at 4 rounds. There's like that buffer zone between 4 and 5 rounds where suppose that OpTic win the pistol on the second half, then NiP essentially have sort of 2 shots to get back into the game because they could get the 4th round and the 6th again. So a little bit of a difference here. We're moving into the 14th round. OpTic, they save some rifles, they buy for the rest. If they lose this round though, suddenly NiP have a great first half on their board. Forrest here, I mean, not exactly doing great at the moment.
No, he hasn't taken off. That's for sure. I mean, he is sitting kind of low. Exist is the one who's positive right now for NiP. The rest of them still trying to catch up. But 2 rounds left in this first half, and Forrest just goes straight into A main. There's a Molotov, but was about to say easy shot, and he's not going to get it. Instead, it's aggression at Alley, and they get completely obliterated. Stanislaw and Nafly both dropped, and it's a man advantage now for NiP. Again, Forrest missed the shot. Mixwell has got to be counting his lucky stars at this point, man.
Yeah.
How is it going to be a 3rd? Well, Rush is going to get a free kill. That's interesting. Pyth will find Mixwell, but Rush making it happen. Drops the bomb carrier, and Rush gets the final kill on Forrest. 9-5, but Rush with the hero play there to keep his team in it.
Look at that, just him exhaling at the end. I think he's feeling the adrenaline a little bit here, but that's a great sequence coming out of him. A real shame that Forrest can't get any of those 2 opportunities there, because that will really change the round a lot. Now, 9-5, moving into the 15th round here, and if OpTic win this round, I'm already impressed. I think OpTic have been playing really well today. Let's just forget about Overpass, pretend it never happened. You look away from that, they're definitely looking like a solid team at the moment. Stan, just pushing back a little bit. Grenade, gonna do some decent damage. That's not bad for a grenade at all.
No, just touches him up, gets him within that 1-shot headshot range, which is what you're aiming for with that M4. If they have helmets, and NiP they do, it's only Forrest who's skimped. But it's the last round of the first half here. It's a real chance for OpTic to come out ahead. There's the flash, full flash onto Exist, free kill for Naf, but he gets traded by Freiburg, and now Rush, he's been spotted as well. So the game is up, Forrest is onto him, looking for the back shot, not gonna get it. Rush picks up 1, goes for the 2nd, but Forrest is there for the punish. 2 on 2 now, and Mixwell looking for the flank.
Yeah, and this is a good position. Oh, grenade Forrest getting tagged up quite a bit. If that had been Freiburg, that could have almost taken him out. Not quite, but nearly there. Mixwell alone now as Freiburg picks up a third for his triple here. And they should know where Mixwell is just because of that grenade. So I kind of like the fact that he's changing it up so much. This is key if you want to try and clutch in this kind of situation, because information is sort of half the battle whenever you're playing Counter-Strike, is knowing where the opponent is. Sneaking up around, Freiburg walking with his back towards Mixwell, and that's why the change of position is so good. Freiburg going down now, Forrest versus Mixwell, one-on-one, and this is a massive round. If NiP win it, suddenly they have a pretty good chance, and there it is. Forrest with a double, and a 9-6 finish. Kind of an even scoreline, I would say.
Yeah, this is surprisingly close. Both of these teams really battling it. And you can see, I mean, the frustration there for Mixwell. He knows he had it within his grasp to win that round, to clutch it for his team, especially with the element of surprise going up against Freiburg like that. The free kill to turn it into a 1v1. It is going to be an even match, and that's just what we wanted here to close the night out here at ELEAGUE. We're going to be taking a very short break, but when we come back, we'll have the second half to see who will be meeting G2 in the semifinals tomorrow night on TBS.
Man, we're having a grand time here at the ELEAGUE studio, so much so that the audience is counting down for the show going live. We have the second half coming up here on Train between OpTic and NiP. I'm still struggling to come to terms with the idea that OpTic is a real and competitive team. I mean, it's just only dawning on me, but if you look at the graphic of just how well they've been playing, they have some real players, not just Mixwell, but Daps and Rush right now, doing a really good job. And especially maybe Daps the surprise here. Rush has been playing pretty good all day.
Yeah, Rush has been, I mean, he got a lot of attention going into this tournament because he's been showing a pretty high form lately, but against, you know, domestic teams. And that was like the one caveat, right? Where it's just like, wow, Rush is really good right now versus other North American teams, but he kind of falls off against Europeans. Now he's actually showing us that he's capable of going toe-to-toe with some of the best in the world. NiP, they're not a pushover team. So for him to be, you know, getting that 14-3-7 scoreline so far to start out the second half, it's pretty solid work. And they aren't wasting much time here. OpTic, a lot of pressure put into Brown Halls early on towards the B site with the two players just rushing around there trying to make as much noise as possible. And in the meantime, three players lying in wait for an aggressive push coming in from NiP.
This is a slightly mad setup for NiP though. They're essentially playing retake on B, but they don't have a smoke, which means if OpTic had done what so many teams do, which is go for the Molotov, this sort of single Molotov to stop the defuse, NiP wouldn't have any way to stop that, so it's not going to be a factor here. OpTic don't actually have a Molotov, so instead it's going to be a foul down at Ivy with a bit of a trade going on. Exist trying to reload, Forrest coming in to help out, turning around, and not going to be able to hit the headshot, but Mixwell is alone. 1-on-3, Python the corner, Mixwell really wants that kill, and he's going to be rewarded. Down to 21 health though, and that will be the end. Good double for Forrest, and NiP. Now, OpTic have got to be a bit worried.
And that, did that smack of anti-strat to you? Because to me, that looked a bit too convenient for NiP to be having like the perfect setup to counter OpTic.
Yeah. Yeah, there was definitely, it did look like an unconventional setup for NiP. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, having 3 guys by alley like that, just, all right, we're ready and waiting for you. If you come through alley, you're going to get completely shreked, and that's kind of what happened there. That's a brutal start for OpTic going into the second half here. They lose the pistol. NiP, 2 rounds away from tying it up here, 7-9. And while OpTic this time around, they don't want to have anything to do with the A site. NiP, they've got 4 players stacked over there, but this is a straight YOLO B.
And it's great. What a fantastic smoke coming in there. And get right, he had no grenades, no Molotov, no HE. He can't stop the plant. This is a fantastic round coming out of OpTic right now. And Stan rushing down Freiburg. Mixwell, he could come right through the smoke. They're all occupied. It comes to Tech9, going to pick up 1. Almost a second. Get right going down a rush. And that's the round. Instantly done. The exact same weakness that we just brought up in the pistol round, instantly exploited by OpTic. I mean, they couldn't know what was happening in the previous round, but that so perfectly highlights exactly what was worrying me in the first round. When Get Right is on that ramp, it's fine. We showed on the map exactly what the issue is. When he's on the ramp playing, then they really do need, I'll show you the next round, they really do need some sort of grenade or something to stop what's happening. Counter grenade coming out, HG or Molotov or anything.
Yeah, they just need to try and slow it up. That spray isn't going to be enough. But that was actually a pretty good grenade there to light things up for Rush. He gets 21, he's down to 21 HP here to start the round, and he's hardly seeing anybody at all, so that's frustrating. He's only got the MAC-10 though, so it's not the end of the world, we'll see. As far as OpTic are concerned, though, they're holding very passively. They've got the rifles, 3 of them, so they're trying to make use of those right now just by holding as far back as possible, making sure that NiP can't get the drop on them. And while it does look like, because it went so well for them, ooh, Get Right was close enough to hear that pack get dropped. So that's a little bit of information. He's hearing the footsteps as well, and you're going to start seeing some dancing happen over here on the NiP side. They might try and get over towards B fairly quickly. And yeah, Forrest is rotating over. There's going to be a 3rd player on B, and Get Right's in position to go for the flank as soon as OpTic decide to push.
They need one strong Deagle headshot to start this off with. If both Exist and Freiburg miss, then this defense won't be worth anything at all. Get Right is coming in from behind though, but there's the one. Oh! Freiburg taking down Mixwell, and look at the fall damage as well. Stan almost going down. Forrest with the shot, and Get Right coming up from behind. Stan going to be going down, and that's the round. What a way to start it, Freiburg. Back-to-back Deagle kills. No chance for OpTic. This is really sick.
Yeah, that was clean. That's as clean as it gets. It's like piano students or something. The metronome is going, just tap, tap. The timing is perfect. And now we have a tweet here from Scream. OpTic was really good on T side. 6 rounds might not be enough for NiP if OpTic wins the pistol round. And so now it's just turning into a bit of a back and forth fight, isn't it?
You know, I can't remember the last time I've seen so many pros actually watch games from other pros while they're live. Usually they watch demos later on or something, but I mean, they happen in week 1, happening in week 2. Obviously, T2 have sort of a vested interest in keeping an eye on this game. They are going to be playing live on TV tomorrow, TBS. They're going to be playing whoever wins this game, so definitely a little bit critical. Well, OpTic, a little bit of an upsetting round. The last one, they do buy 2 AKs and some Tech9 armor in this round. I like the idea that they're trying to keep up the pressure here. NiP have no economy at all. OpTic don't either, so why not just try and see if you can sneak around in.
Exactly right, and they're showing themselves to try and bait some nades out of NiP right now. If NiP, they just keep throwing them out. Minute left on this clock, not a single smoke left. There's an incendiary on Pyth. It's going to make life easier for OpTic. Daps dancing on the other end of that smoke, and Get Right just deciding, do I want to charge through? Is this bait? Is he setting a trap for me? Freiburg takes out Daps. Exist finds Stanislaw. Nafly finally going to be able to step in and pick up a kill of his own, but Forrest is there to instantly shut him down. And it's Rush and Mixwell, the last 2 alive here for OpTic. 2v4, Forrest ready. And while Mix might be able to get the drop on him, but then that elbow sticking out, and Forrest, that's all he needs. 3 kills for him. And this is a horror situation now for OpTic because they just spent all of their money in that last round.
It definitely is. I mean, it's a risk, and I think what's worse than the fact that they don't win the round is the fact they only get the 1 kill. If they had gone into this round and they got, 4 kills and maybe a bomb plant, you could say, well, that's fine, that's all right, essentially. But the fact that they get only the 1 kill out of it, simply not good enough here. NiP are quickly catching up, and OpTic, where are they going to get the money from?
from AB Plant. And that's exactly what they're hoping for here. Get right. He realizes that he might be at risk, and so he's putting some distance between himself and the ramp. Just takes a single P250 and a lucky headshot to just wreck you, right? So he wants to get as far back as possible, and he's going to be in a position where that M4 can really go to work. There's the first headshot onto Daps. Naf going for the shoulder peek. Get right. Just tapping away, doing his best screen impression.
What's really interesting is both him and Freiburg have an HE grenade, so if they actually do make the crossing onto the site to try and get the bomb down, those HE will tear them apart. Forrest with a good headshot, and Get right to close it out.
And the perfect anti-ego for NiP. Every rifle saved, many nades saved as well, and that's as good as it gets as far as they're concerned, because now they actually have a good bank to fall back on. You can see Threat just saying, please guys, 6 more rounds. Probably not what he's saying, it's just like calling out some kind of play. But the pressure is now going to be on OpTic because they know they're behind. NiP tying it up favors NiP here in this sort of situation when they're on the CT side of train.
Absolutely does. And again, I think that the economy is the really big thing here. They just managed to have a couple of rounds back-to-back where they almost all lived in both of them. And it's on OpTic to find a way through again. Forrest, big opening, taking down Stan. And that was in main, playing close to the E-box out there. Get right still being a little bit defensive over by the ramp. He used to he's had a couple of rounds previously in the league here. We see he's been a little bit aggressive. This time is a little bit more careful. They're just unleashing Forrest at this point in time. He's finally going to be going down, but trading 2 for 1, well worth it. Mixwell coming back in style.
Showing that he's got some skills to get the kills as well. Freiburg on the site itself, though, jumps up, and as soon as his feet touch the ground, boom, he gets the headshot, but Rush is right there with the headshot of his own, 2-on-2. That bomb still needs to get picked up, and Get right trying to make the play. Gonna go through the smoke, sneak his way through, and he might be able to catch Rush off guard. Although Rush is checking this angle, and he will be coming right around it. Get right, though, will just barely find room to work. And now it's all on Daps, 1v2, and he has no idea where Get right's playing from. Although he gets the read. Somehow the read works out for him, but he doesn't hit the shot. Instead, he will get the flank.
That looked a bit silly for Get right. Not sure why he's moving around this much. Daps getting, oh my lord, he still picks up the kill. Double for Daps. Both Exist and Get right, I would say, quite horribly mismanaging that position. All they have to do, I mean, this is some basic Counter-Strike, but until he goes for the bomb plant, why would they try and find him? Get right gets spotted up there, and maybe he wanted to get out of position, out of that position. That's fine, but why not get into cover? Why wait out in the open like that?
Yeah, I mean, clearly I was looking at Exist as well, because we can just get that angle, and he was shouting his head off, so he can't be too happy about that, especially because he had the guy dead to rights. I mean, Daps had his knife out. Somehow Exist fluffs the spray to the point where Daps can get his gun out and then shoot him in the face. That's going to cost him, and that actually puts OpTic in the lead here. 11-10, and NiP, their backs are to the wall. They've just used all their money to buy up in this round due to that mistake. So this is a big round. This could really set OpTic up to just run away with this half, or, well, obviously can keep NiP alive.
Right.
So we'll see in there. Yeah, exactly, the aggression. Forrest continues to look for a fight.
Yeah, and that's the one thing, but the same problem over here at the B-bomb side is that they don't have any grenades to stop what's coming. OpTic just going to be able to walk right in. Important kill for Get right, and Freiburg not going to be able to make it work. If he had a Molotov, he had an HE, both Rush and Mix would be out of this round. Pyth is going to be showing up, and he has the grenade, so if they're all still alive at that point, maybe that could make a difference. Stan picks up Exist here, and it's a 3-on-4. There's the kill coming through, and Rush and Mix still very, very low on health, but Mix was actually hiding inside the smoke on the bomb side here. Counter flashes coming out, well, just trying to buy a little bit of time, and Mixwell playing a dangerous game with that little HP. Rush, again, just a shot away from death.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's literally an incendiary rolling around. Smoke goes down to block it off, though, and now it's all on Rush. He gets spotted by Get right. Needs to hit the shot, not going to get it. And it's on Naf, and he gets 2 kills out of nowhere. And now it's on Get right, and there's no time somehow. NiP, they had the edge. They could have done it, but Get right is not going to be able to pull through. OpTic, how does that happen? Where did Naf come from?
He just jumped down. Look at this.
Whoa.
Absolutely solid play.
Unreal.
He doesn't look too impressed himself, but here's the other thing. Nafly had an incendiary grenade, and I can guarantee you so many players would have been tempted to throw down another one. Even if the smoke is there, people still tend to just kind of go for it because it feels like a good play. That's absolutely great. Stan going to be pushing out here, very aggressive here. NiP not with a lot of money. Forest picking up 2 and Pipe with the kill. How is this happening? They have almost nothing. Rush is going to be taking down 1 shot there, but it's still a 2-on-3. And if NiP steal this round away, it's almost too much to handle for OpTic.
I get the impression that we both made the same mistake because I thought that NiP would be ecoing after that last round, and I think that OpTic were probably thinking the same.
Yeah.
Because they just ran out there, I think, expecting pistols. They did get a pistol to the face. That was Forrest with the CZ. But then rifles backing it up. That was unexpected. Rush, though. Beautiful flick onto Exist. Gets the headshot. Gonna spot the man on the site, but not the kill. And it's all on Daps now. 1v2, 1 HP. And it's not gonna happen. Freiberg with the jumping UMP shot from halfway across the map.
Please.
That's just so big from Forrest. I mean, he continues to press up aggressive to A main. Perfect positioning to use that CZ75, and he's really taken off. He was lagging a little bit behind earlier, but now he's positive, 22-15. So the past several rounds have been very strong for Forrest. And wow, look at this, man. They are just going for it. No fear from OpTic.
Yeah, this is a really brutal fight right now between both the teams. No one wants to bend. No one wants to sort of let go and eco around. They're just going to continue to put on the pressure here from either side. Get right. Does spot a couple of people jumping by. He should know. He's got Forrest coming up from behind. I think he's right there with the Max 7, taking down Nafly, and a lot of damage put in the mix as well. Forrest, think about what a mad move that is. I mean, yes, Get Right hurt, some people, but there's no way for him to know if it's, 3 or 5 running past Forrest, just absolutely wrecking this push. Wow.
Oversight by OpTic, that's basically what happened there. Because you can go for the rush. Generally, you'll have teams leave a man behind just to mind Pop Dog. This time around, though, I mean, Forrest hits the push perfectly. And well, that actually wrecks everything here for OpTic. Look at that, 11 HP on Mixwell. Daps has got 45 HP. And when they've got pistols, so it's an uphill battle to begin with, even when they have full HP. Now they have to try and find a way to sneak out onto a site and really catch NiP off guard. But Forrest, he's got the one entrance, the close one, through Pop Dog. There's the pop flash, and there's the dead Stanislaw at Forrest's feet.
I mean, again, if you just look at the team names, you wouldn't think this would be such a close fight right now. I still think OpTic are just showing us a really cool level right here. But you gotta wonder if it's enough as Forrest picks up quad kills with Max 7s. Not a good time at all.
That's an insane amount of money. Now his bank is going to be reestablished. Yeah, going into the round, he has roughly 7,000 when the rest of his teammates are all sitting on, 3, maybe 2.
And even worse, OpTic have to eco. And NiP, they should know that. 26 kills on Forrest at the moment. So very impressive scoreline from him. Definitely coming back into it. Get Right and Freiberg at 18 as well. So whatever wasn't working on Cobblestone seems to be working now.
Having a bit of a discussion right now, it seems, OpTic. They know that this is a hard eco. I like it. A bit of the old Existence Very games. You're going for the hard eco, just use it as a timeout. Run down the clock, sit in T-spawn, and just talk. Figure out what you need to do in the next round to have an impact that's going to be able to shake things up for NiP, because right now Forrest is having the time of his life. And what is going on? Well, they're walking one over the other. That's why I thought for a second there it's a bit weird. The rush is what, hugging Forrest? They're right on top of the other, yeah.
Truce in the middle of everything. Yeah, but Glocks and no armor is not exactly a competition. A lot of talking going on right now on the OpTic side. Which is, yeah, as you said, definitely a good idea. Again, maybe wanting to wait a little bit. Forrest picking up one. Anyone else up for it? Oh, he misses the shot. There's another one. Triple coming through. The money on Forrest at the end of this round at $8,550.
That's not even without, he still gets the win bonus at the end of that too. So he just made all their bank back for NiP. That's a big cushion. And while the bomb gets dropped as well, Mixwell looks at it and he thinks it's only a couple feet away, but it might as well be on the other side of the world because I'm never gonna get on it. 8 HP and Get Right with the headshot. Style and NiP in the lead, 13-12. On the CT side, and in large part due to this man right here. Forrest, you can see, just single-handedly taking the fight to OpTic.
I feel a bit bad for OpTic right now. I still am impressed that they've managed to push it this far. I mean, it wouldn't have been my guess, and you heard our analysts as well. I think the guess was something like 16-5 and then 16-11 or something. Right now, they've pushed past pretty much everyone's expectations. But there is a real good chance here that they won't be able to make it all the way back. And the real problem right now is the economy on NiP. They just have so much money, not just Forest, but everyone else too. OpTic need to win back-to-back rounds to force NiP to eco before they are going to have a really good chance of doing this. 3 men for OpTic get down by Ivy, and then we have Daps and Stan playing together a little bit by main and PopDog. So could be a cool split coming out if they can just find an entry somewhere.
Exactly, and Exist is the one holding the angle passive towards Ali, but look at this. 1:10 left on this clock, hardly any nades left here for NiP. They've used so many of them. So OpTic have done a fantastic job of really putting the pressure on NiP and getting them to use their utility. Now it's all about the tough work here. The smoke goes in, there's the flash, not gonna matter. Mixwell hits the first shot on Exist. Freiburg though with a big spray, doing damage to Rush. It's just trade kills all over the place. Pyth trading as well. Mixwell, however, is still in the fight. And Forest and GetRight, the last two alive here for NiP in the round. And well, Mixwell will catch out Forest.
Some really good aim coming out of Mixwell. In spite of the fact that he's out in the open, he looks like he's just running around, and just very confident play right now from the Spanish player. GetRight going to be walking in, and Mixwell should be going down here. That's a good shot coming out. The bomb is planted up in the middle there, so GetRight is going to be super exposed to Stan, who's in C connector, just waiting at the moment. Stan got the aim trained onto the right here. GetRight not going to be able to get back around the corner, and a big round coming out of OpTic.
Doesn't look like GetRight quite had the read on where the bomb was planted for him to go leaping in there like that. Also, Mixwell, talk about a terrific mistake, running around with your knife out in a clutch situation where you don't know where the guy is.
Yeah, that looked a little bit sketchy, right? I think they were feeling confident, because GetRight usually plays the ramp on B, so they're probably thinking he's going to come PopDog, right? But you can't really make any assumptions when you're this close to the goal. Auto sniper on Exist, AWP on Pyth. NiP are serious now. They want to make sure that this game doesn't go any further. So they bought all the big equipment here, which is also expensive. It means almost all of them are actually out of money. Those are really big investments here, so they got to get a big return. Mixwell, he can see Forest Shadow before Forest comes around the corner if he does. And that's a big thing. There's the Shadow, and Mixwell, easy pick up there. And Forest, for once, not opening up with a kill.
Forest cooling off. He had a few hot rounds to keep NiP alive in this map, but now he's dropped a little bit. Pyth has to give ground. He goes for the re-peek real quick just to confirm, see if there's any movement. And Daps is currently set up above PopDog. Nobody there waiting for NiP. Instead, it is a full focus on the first two trains outside of main. Although Pyth wants to put some distance between himself and those main entrances, wants to get that AWP into play, have a good long line to work with there. And Mixwell continues to hold, and it's going to be the wrap here. It looks like the split onto A is the plan for OpTic. They still have the man advantage going into this. Stanislaw dancing on the other side of the smoke, and GetRight is actually going to catch him out. They both realize at the same time. And GetRight wins the duel. No refrag attempts coming in here from their mates either. NiP have somehow thought that this is going to be a B-site take.
Yeah, they're not reading the situation well at all right now, so a lot of it is going to come down to whether or not GetRight can pick up at least one more shot here. Got the angle for it, Daps crossing over, and they smoke him off. This is brilliant play. They don't need to find GetRight anymore, just get that bomb down. And now there's so much pressure on NiP. Rush is in a position that's a bit open right now, and NAF is going to be going down. They must have this round up to. They cannot afford to give it away. This is on a knife's edge as Daps goes down. Rush and Mixwell left, and Rush holding close right now. Pyth going to be dropped, and still a 2-on-3. The bomb ticking. They need to get in here quick, NiP. They can't be this game any longer. Rush turning around. Mixwell hitting a shot. Rush going for a bit more. GetRight going to be zoned out. And now all on Exist. 1-on-2. And he's moving up. Auto sniper in hand. He has to walk away. OpTic going to take the round lead at 14-13. What a play here.
What an incredible play. Unreal. So difficult to retake with a Scar 20 and an AWP as well. Only the two rifles there for NiP. And yet somehow you think it's written up. You think this is looking too good. NiP, they've turned the tide. Sure, the bomb is down, but they catch out NAF. That's Pyth with the opening shot. But this guy right here, Mixwell, just making all the difference. Huge spray fight there with GetRight. And that just turned it around completely. 14-13, and NiP, they're going for the force. All or nothing. They could just barely get two rifles to work with, two pistols on Freiburg and Pyth. In the meantime, OpTic fully bought up, so let's see, is this the moment where OpTic just get the upset, or does Exist just snuff Mixwell?
Goodbye. Not the best way to get started here. They're real close to the finish line right now. NiP with this kind of a force up, but it's also a way of saying either we win this round or we're going to be out of the game. Freiburg up on the train here. Flashbang coming through. He's just got a pistol. Get right, picking up a massive kill assist, coming in with the auto sniper, and that's the round. Oh no, OpTic. How can it be real? Get right now up at 25 kills. Forest dropping 30. And the scoreline is tied. That's one thing, but it's the money here that's really heartbreaking.
14-14. And yeah, it is the money, and they're going for it, OpTic. They want overtime. They are not going to get into this force buy battle with NiP. They will eat this round of eco, get the rifles for the next round, and try and work from there. And it is looking like it's going to be the straight-out rush here onto that B site. Bomb is carried. They've split up a little bit, and 2 players making their way into Brown Halls. Bit of a delayed tactic here, actually, from OpTic.
I think they just need the bomb plant right now. They got 2 smokes. They just need that bomb down. And Get Right doesn't have an HE, so he can't stop it. Freiburg has 1, and they don't have armor, so with a tiny bit of luck, 1 HE grenade could absolutely wreck OpTic's dreams right now. And they do actually need the bomb plant. They don't have enough money to buy if they don't get the bomb plant. So, I mean, even with the bomb plant, it's going to be sketchy. But this bomb plant is critical in this round. It means so much. $800 more is all they need to get a chance in the last one. Get Right trying to pick someone off. Now they're on the site, and NiP, they cannot stop it. No grenade coming in that kills anyone. The bomb is down, and OpTic are going to be fine with that. Winning the round, not really an option without any kind of an armor. But we need to look at the money at the end of, or at the beginning of the next round. Again, because they get the bomb plant, you have to imagine that you would subtract $800 from their scoreboard there if they didn't get the bomb down. And you can tell that would be a bit tricky. They'd be missing an AK on at least 1 person, and they would also be missing a lot of grenades. So the $800 bonus, really important.
Yeah, it's a massive difference maker, and you can see them just go. Now they actually have full nade sets on everybody pretty much. They even have Molotovs to work with, which were just a little bit more expensive than the standard HEs and smokes. So 30 rounds. How fitting, Anders, that it goes the distance here between both of these teams. Last map of this series. And they aren't really cutting any corners. Yes, they are. In fact, NiP, 4 guys out on A. Only Get Right holding on B, and Get Right going aggressive as well, holding very close to the ramp, and we'll see. Does that pay off? Are OpTic going to be able to find him? They're making some noise over here to make it, well, uncertain, basically. For Get Right if there is a push into Brown Halls, if there's a presence here from OpTic.
Such a big display right now for OpTic. They've been playing this so well. It almost feels like they're being cheated a little bit, but they're only down a round. It could go into overtime. Freiburg and Get Right are holding on the site, and Get Right has a Molotov this time. It means if they try for the same kind of split that they did last time, half of the split could be gone. You know, they could just be running into fire either on the ramp or on the high ground. But I think if they know how, they can throw Molotovs exactly to where Get Right is standing, and that could be a real good way to win a round.
That would completely wreck things for Get Right. He is going to get that incendiary off, though. Burns down Rush, and he's going to go for the spray, but there's an effective trade kill, and Daps opening up the site. Both entry frags for him. Gets dropped down to 34 HP, but Daps is the one stepping up, and Daps could get another, but Exist steps in with the Scar 20, and Forrest finds Mixwell in the meantime.
And that's the big kill. Mixwell is supposed to be sneaking up behind them. This is a really old strat from 1.6 that people used to do. Naf cheeky kill coming in there, but Exist again, that also sniper doing so much work, and it's all on Stan. He has no Molotov or anything, and there's the grenade coming in, forcing him to commit to the push, and oh no! Forrest picking up a double. NiP gonna make it through to play live on TBS tomorrow against G2. But what a road they had to make it, or had to go through to get there. 16-14. They got crushed on the first map, and they had to battle like this to win the third one.
I'm speechless at this point for it to go that close. And OpTic, they don't manage to pull it off in the end.
Yeah, but what an absolutely heroic performance. I've got to say, I am slightly blown away by how well OpTic have been performing. Yeah, today, just a very, very strong showing from them. If anything, NiP are the ones who should be feeling maybe a little bit worried about the current form, especially if you just take a moment and think about how well G2 have been playing.
Oh, frustration, man. It's going to be insane. That is a bitter pill to swallow.
It absolutely is, but it will turn out in favor of NiP at the end of it here. And yeah, just a bit of a longer day. Didn't expect for us to see 3 maps, but we did do that. And obviously G2 made it through against Selfless in much better form. They look like the favorites going into tomorrow. We will obviously have a bit of a breakdown here of this third map when we come back after the break.